Welcome to Bear Essential on Fitness, where we will talk on different aspects of fitness and have special guests such as local athletic directors and coaches. Also be able to meet trainers and locally and nationally to get their expertise and their aspects on different sports as well as the training that they get. Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. Today we have Bear Fitness Essentials. Got Kyle Stiffney from Soccer Academy in Goshen. I have the privilege to know this gentleman. He started it to help not only his community, but his love of soccer. So Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you decide to start this?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back since I was little. My soccer coach, when I started out with soccer, like in fifth grade all the way up through college, was the same coach. His name is Tavi. And so he's had a lifelong dream of like really starting his own soccer complex. And he rented out some space there in kind of the mid to late about 2000s. And he's always had this dream. And we lived down in Indianapolis. I worked in accounting. My wife went to school, and then we moved overseas and did some service work. And then we came back to Goshen, which is where our families are. And I was looking for something to do. And Tavi was shopping around. I actually was looking. We had a business plan. He was looking for investors. I've been talking to banks, and we got together. And I said, "Hey, this sounds awesome," because I was interested in doing something that wasn't accounting related. And he's had this dream for so long. He really has the dream, and he has the knowledge, and he's so good with kids and parents. And then I kind of I've coached a little bit, so I enjoy working with kids. But then with my accounting and business background, we make a good team. And so that's kind of how it started. And we bought an old tennis facility. We renovated it, but did as much of the work as we could ourselves. And we opened in January of 2020. And
COVID
and we were open for 2.5 months. So, but that's a little background there with the Goshen Soccer Academy and kind of how it started. But yeah, so it's really Tavi's dream. And then we just make a good team. We have strengths that kind of complement each other.
So speaking of Coach Tavi, can you tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, so his full name is Tavi Sak Moonsiki Raj. And his family immigrated from Laos during the revolution. And they settled like in Centerville, Michigan. He has 4 brothers and a sister. So they grew up there. They played football. But then
Football is American football.
It's American football.
Okay.
But then also fell in love with soccer, and so he played in college, and then like really just spent a career coaching, developing youth programs in the area. And really like a testament to him is, so we opened in 2020. So we started our youth futsal leagues, and I think in the first session, I think we had 72 teams.
Wow!
And that's really just a testament to Tavi. And our business name is the Goshen Soccer Academy. But they're like at the beginning, I get so many phone calls and emails just saying, "Hey, is this Tavi's place? Because if so, we'd like to play here." And so we joked that we should have just named it Tavi's place instead of the Goshen Soccer Academy.
So you mentioned futsal. For the people who have no clue what that is, because I know I was one of them, I had to look it up. I had seen it before, but I did not know what it was called.
Yeah. So in the U.S., people most of soccer, and then in the winter you play indoor soccer. So futsal, I guess, is indoor soccer, but it's the game that's most, I guess, played around the world. And so it basically, it's played on a court that's a little bigger than a basketball court. There aren't any walls, so traditionally people think of indoor soccer with walls and turf. So futsal is played on a hard surface like a gym floor, and there aren't any walls. And it's 4-on-4. with the goalie. And so if you don't know anything about soccer and you watch futsal, you'll notice. I mean, it flows a lot like basketball. Like they run out of bounce plays. They play certain defenses and offenses. And so if you're new to soccer, if you watch futsal, you'll notice that it flows a lot like basketball. The idea is without the walls, because when we all know, so when you play outdoor soccer, there aren't any walls. And so if you're using indoor soccer or futsal as a tool to get better at soccer, why play with walls? Because they don't exist outside. So the goal is with a smaller, tighter space. It's fast paced. So it's really about skills development and learning how to deal with pressure in small spaces. So that's futsal, and that's what we do. I'd say 80% so far. With COVID, everything's kind of been flipped upside down. But then we do have a lot of other things too. What do we offer? The Goshen Soccer Academy.
So what have you been offering since you've been able to come back open since COVID?
Yeah, so we have two racquetball courts that we have recently renovated. And so those are brand new. We do pickleball, and we do basketball and volleyball. And so with the soccer, we run leagues and programs. With volleyball and basketball, it's really just more of on a rental basis. And so most people will call us up and they'll rent life basketball for an hour and just come in and play with friends. The pickleball stuff is just you come and play. Pay $5 a person and you can play unlimited. The racquetball thing works like a membership. So you pay a membership fee. You get your own key fob. So that way you can come and go as you please, and you have like a private locker room area with showers. And the racquetball courts are actually locked all the time. So you come in, you use your key fob to get in, and then you can play. Not worry about the kids running off with like stuff, because there are a lot of kids around the place.
So you mentioned about pickleball. I know for me, it took me a little bit to figure it out. So can you tell the viewers what it is?
Yeah, so Tavi, he's a huge pickleballer, and I know that he was just down in Florida for spring break, beating up on all the old 65 and 70-year-olds there at the courts. But so it was new to me too, probably like right before COVID. It's the fastest growing sport in the world, I believe. It's a hybrid. It almost feels like half tennis, half ping pong. It's a short net, about 3 feet high. You play with a wiffle ball and like a solid paddle. Like some are made out of wood. The fancier ones are like aluminum and carbon fiber.
Jesus.
So we had a lot of people playing. In general, the crowd that plays that tends to skew a bit older. And so when COVID came, that just kind of stopped. But we do get a lot of older groups, less now just because the weather's so nice. They're playing outside, but I know like just in Elkhart County, there are usually weights at the courts if you want to play.
Yeah.
And just from a weather perspective, so we saw people come in and playing inside just because it's fun and you don't have to worry about wind and rain and temperature and that kind of stuff.
So what programs are you guys running? Because the word is Soccer Academy.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for soccer? Because I'm sure Tavi's still wanting to coach.
Yeah.
What programs for that? And what things are you guys going to be coming out with soon?
So we are before we opened, people kept asking me, are we like a sports center? But I'd say we're kind of a hybrid, like sports center / a community center. And so we do a lot of programming. Like in the winter, we have an academy. I think in the fall we had about 100 kids, and in the winter we had about 145 kids. And so that's our winter academy that we really focus on soccer, but also focus on fun. So it's a program that's open to all kids, whether or not they've played soccer before.
And fun. What's that?
Yeah, well, exactly. And so we get a lot of kids in there, especially this past year with COVID, but just in general, there's not a lot of programming in the winter for kids who aren't playing basketball. or aren't playing volleyball. And so we really just try to create a program that's fun for the kids so that they get exercise, but then they also learn a little bit about soccer. And so those are some programs that we run like during the weeknight. Then on Saturdays and Sundays and some evenings, we organize leagues, and so that's when you get all these club teams coming in. Whether it's Stars, Magic, Flames, like the Junior Irish, Michiana Echo. And so we really, a part of our mission when we started was we didn't want to create our own club to compete with these clubs. We really wanted to be like a resource for them. So we do our programming, but then we also like our center for those teams to come and practice and play in our leagues. So we try to cater to kind of all levels, to like an elite soccer club who's looking for some place like to play or practice. But also, if you have two kids and you don't know what they're going to do this winter and they've never played soccer before, you can sign them up, and we'll guarantee that they learn some soccer and that they also have fun. And so now, so we're done. So we try to wrap up a lot of that stuff right before spring break, because after spring break, like soccer goes outdoors. But this Thursday, actually, we're getting ready to start our youth spring league, which we have about 250 kids in, and that's kind of like a rec. It's more of a rec soccer league. So a lot of kids are busy right now with travel soccer, and so this league really caters to those kids who aren't involved in travel soccer for one of many reasons, whether time or cost or whatnot. And so that's what we're getting ready to start here this Thursday. But this is the first spring that we've been open. So we opened in January of 2020. Now we were closed basically all spring and summer into the fall.
So speaking of summer, it's coming up pretty quickly. Is there any programs you guys are already looking at putting out there here soon? So
we're talking to schools and coaches. We're going to run a few soccer camps. They're kind of like the last 2 weeks of June. But these kids will like as you well know, I mean, like their summers have gotten shorter and they're already so full with sports commitments through schools and travel sports programs. And so we're going to run some camps and programs, but it's difficult because these kids are busy. And so I think one thing that we're going to try to kind of build this summer, and I know Tommy just met with the Goshen Parks Department, just a couple weeks ago, is about trying to incorporate some more some volleyball and basketball programming there in the summer. Because like fall and winter, I mean, we're just completely full of soccer. But kind of after spring break, everyone starts playing outside. And so we're hoping to kind of incorporate some more of those sports there in the summer when we have court space available.
So I know that you also have adult stuff. So you want to tell the viewers about that?
Yeah, so that's right. So we do. So on Friday nights, we have an adult co-ed league, which is a lot of fun. And then on Sundays, we have men's leagues. And that's to like a rec level up to like our men's A league. So we try to cater to anyone really who wants to put in a team. So we try to make sure we have a couple different options for them, so they make sure they have fun and it's competitive. And so we have some church teams and some business teams that come and play in the rec league, and it's fun. And some have played soccer for. Some haven't. Up to like our men's A league, where most of the guys have played in college or whatnot. And those days are a lot of fun too. I put in teams, and I still play some. With my body allows me. So that's a lot of fun. And then kind of outside of soccer for adults, it's really the racquetball, the pickleball, and then some guys come in and run space for basketball or run space for volleyball. And so we don't have any programming per se for adults outside of soccer at the moment, but we're looking into it, especially during the summer months, for sports like basketball.
So I'm closing. What is like on? I know it's COVID and everything. What's the biggest thing you've seen during this time?
Yeah, so I think We really weren't sure how to navigate like COVID at first. I mean, so it's indoor sport, so it's not like you can socially distance and play soccer or play basketball. And if you tried, it wouldn't be much fun. And so we really weren't sure how to navigate it. I know last fall we opened up again, and we didn't really run much for adult programming. But during the winter, it was so important for us to keep our youth programming open, and we had just tons of signups, and we had tons of kids, and I probably had too many kids, but just how important it was for the kids to have a space to come and run around. I got to see friends, and we felt like what we did was safe. Like we had COVID precautions in place. We asked instead of both parents come, just one come. The whole family doesn't need to come and watch. I'll come and watch Jimmy play soccer for an hour. But the kids, I think that was what we learned, is just how important it is for kids to have that space to run around and play, and making sure it is in a safe environment, but making sure that they have that outlet, because I think that's important. Well, to their health as well. So I think that's what we really learned is, like, not only for the parents to have that hour, but those kids just need that time to run around and burn off some steam, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
When they're either at home playing video games or at school, and then COVID, like with e-learning, they're home all the time. And so just for them to have an hour each night to come in and run around, that was really important. And it felt really good that we could keep that going and do it in a safe environment.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll put the information on for the Soccer Academy with this thing. Again, if you're looking for a place for your kids to go do stuff, and whether they are a true athlete or they're trying to start out just to have fun, especially right now with the mental health and the social aspect, getting them out there and just being active around a group is one of the biggest things. Again, Kyle, thank you for coming, and thank you for talking on the podcast.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, Chris.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you for joining us for Bare Essentials on Fitness today. If you like it, subscribe to a podcast, as well as share it out to others that may be in the same interest. At any point in time, leave a question. Hopefully we can get back to you and give you the information that you're looking for. Again, thank you very much. This is Coach Chris from Bare Fitness.